Hello, and this is Duncan Moore, and you're listening to the Let's Get Kids Outdoors podcast, a podcast aimed at getting our young people back outdoors where they belong. So today on this podcast we're going to be covering forest schools. So whether you've heard of forest school or not, we're not too sure, but we're going to give you a little short explanation of what forest schools are. Now, as a little added extra bonus for you all today, we're going to have a few interviews popping in later on. So we've got some of our forest schoolers from this week carried out an interview with us while we was outdoors over our woodland. So bear in mind they was carried out over a smartphone, and many of the young people were swinging on hammocks at the time, but we'll give you a little brief explanation, then we'll go over and listen to some of their interviews. So what exactly is a forest school and how does a forest school work? Well, forest school is a child-led experience, so a lot of the whole ethos around it is behind the child doing what the child wants to do, obviously within safety reasons, but the idea is they educate a lot better when they're doing something that they want to do rather than something they've been told to do. If you tell a child to go and construct something, they're not necessarily going to be in that frame of mind or want to construct something at that time. If they want to construct something, they're going to be so much more involved in that whole project. They're going to learn so much more. Their brain's going to be switched on to it because that is what they want to do. If someone's told them that's what they want to do, that's not going to be in the right. So forest school works on the fact that the children can choose what they want to do, and the practitioners will be there to facilitate whatever it is they wish to learn at the time. Now, there are many forest school practitioners all around the world, and everyone operates slightly to their own sort of favoured ethos and the way they want to work their forest school, which is perfectly right. It fits in with whatever children they have as well. From our personal point of view as a forest school, as Let's Get Out C.I.C, we operate as a free play ethos. So we allow the children plenty of time to play, and we understand that play is where they really sort of learn. It's when they engage the most. If you want to find out some more about free play, our previous podcast was covering a lot about what free play is, so you can go back and listen to that to find out more. So forest schools are run over a long period of time, over several sessions, at least ideally over the minimum of a year period. That's how we like to run them, but ongoing sessions are even better. The reason for this is it allows children to get ownership of the site. So you imagine when they first come in on a first session, they're not necessarily going to know their way around. They won't know many of the other young people on the sessions. They won't necessarily know the practitioners and the helpers who are on the course. So slowly they grow into it. So slowly they get to know the site. They get to know the practitioners get to know them, they get to know the other kids, and this is where the real sort of change takes place. So a lot of the common practice is to have a review and assessment period for the first 6 sessions. And then after that, you then move on into the sessions. Now, one of the benefits of forest school, and one of the great things about forest school, is they run throughout the year. So if you're in a seasonal country, a temperate country like we are, you get to see the seasons. So if you're there throughout the whole year, you get to see all of those changes throughout the seasons. In regards to us as a forest school, and as most forest schools do, they carry on through all weathers as well. The only times we cancel, and most cancel, is through obviously electrical storms and high winds for obvious health and safety issues. But we carry on through cold weather, wet weather, hot weather. It's about building the resilience in the young people. And there's no better way of building resilience than having young people in an outdoor environment throughout the year. So another huge benefit of being outside throughout the different seasons is as they grow ownership to that site, they start to see the changes on the site. They start to connect more with nature. So they'll see it through the spring season, so they'll see the whole woodland coming to life after the previous winter. All the different wildlife, the birds really sort of coming into song. And then they move into the summer, so they experience in the heat, they experience it with a full tree canopy. Then they go into autumn. As they go into autumn, obviously the leaves start to fall down, things start to die back. They'll have certain different animals going into hibernation. The weather starts to get colder and the nights start to creep in. Then we move into winter, and of course everything, a lot less animals moving around, less daylight, colder weather obviously, sun's lower in the sky. So they get to witness all of these different changes in the same environment. Now, if they go to a regular site for over a year, they then understand what is going to be happening that following year. They've learned the cycles of nature in that site, and they can almost predict what's going to happen where, which is a fantastic life skill to have. It's something that going back, our ancestors would have had this, and the young people would have had this from a very young age, and it's a skill that we don't necessarily have now. We don't have regular visits to regular sites throughout the season, so forest school really does give this side to our young people. Now, also another benefit of the regular sessions is they start to make friendships, which is great. They'll all start to get together, they slowly get to know each other, and they start to do things in teams. They may not always want to work in teams. Occasionally kids want to go off and do things on their own as an individual. But a lot of the time they'll set themselves a task, or one child will start to do something and the other children will see them doing something. They'll come in and they'll start to get involved. And as you get a group of children then working on a project, you see them, they understand each other's strengths. So then you'll notice that they start to work really well as a team, and they start to pass off certain tasks to the member who that may be their strongest skill set, which really is a great way of watching and how they operate. It's one of the best things you see at forest school. And remember, all of this is without being told. This is all coming from their own imagination, from their own minds, and we as practitioners are only there to facilitate this. Now also, whilst they're working as teams, they're obviously in a woodland environment. So as you can imagine, a woodland environment, you have a wealth of materials around you to use. So obviously sticks, logs, leaves, there's just so many variations of materials they can use. So they get used to using these different materials and finding the right materials to do the job, but also finding the wrong materials to do the job and learning that doesn't work. It's a great skill, and they learn that as a team. They will send off members of the team to go and collect certain things, and it all really starts to gel together. It's just a fantastic thing to see. Now, one thing we have to always bear in mind when we're talking about what goes on at forest school, and especially along the free play lines, is that they are learning when they're doing all this. It's very easy now with modern education systems to think if they're not sitting down and they're not got textbooks open and they're not working on a set task, they're not learning. This just isn't true. All these things we've previously just explained, with them constructing something, working as a team, they're learning. This is how kids learn. This is how they learn the best as well, because they're doing what they want to do. And this is the whole ethos of how forest school works. So you have to remove yourself from the fact that they're not sitting down writing or working out sums, but they are subconsciously, all of these things are still happening, but they're doing it in a way that they're really absorbing the skills. So it is quite a hard thing to understand until you see it in action, but it genuinely does work. And I think anyone who runs forest school, any practitioners or anyone who helps on forest schools will totally agree with us, see how they are. The forest school children are some of the most articulated children we have on many of our courses. Their communication skills become so much improved over the time of them being with us. You really see how they grow as young people. So I think what we'll do now I think we'll jump into one of our interviews, what we've done with some of the kids. We've got various interviews coming up, but I'll drop one of them in now so you can have a listen. Just remember that this was recorded outside on a smartphone and they were on hammocks, so have a little listen to this.
It's not that hard. Not sitting like that.
Are you ready, ladies?
Yes. Yeah.
Right, who we got here? What's your names?
Bethany, Maya, Lily.
And Lily again. Lily's popping up quite a lot in these interviews, isn't you, Lily? Right, how are we doing, girls? Good. You're going to be popping up more, are you?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So, right, so what have you been doing today at Forest School?
Playing.
Playing what?
We played real life Minecraft. We decorated a den. We played Bear Cub. We did a lot.
Oh, right. So was it good?
Yes.
How's your den getting on?
Good.
Yeah?
Bethany.
Just for the sake of it, I'm going to point out that the girls are actually swinging on a hammock at the moment, which is the reason why the reason why their voices are going in and out.
Bethany.
So, right, how long you've been coming Forest School then?
I've been coming since it started.
You've been coming since it started. So how long's that been, Bethany, here? About a year and a half, maybe? Something like that? Yeah?
Time ago, I don't know how.
A long time.
I don't keep track of time. Were you here at the start too? No. Okay.
So
Okay.
what's your favourite bits about Forest School?
Playing and also the marshmallows and also Duncan.
The marshmallows and Duncan.
Yeah.
Ah, that's nice.
So annoying. How is he annoying? Hey, he helped us put up this. Oh my goodness.
Oh. If this falls down while we're doing the interview, that'd be interesting.
Yeah. I'm a vegetarian, so I can't have marshmallows. So no, I don't like the marshmallows.
So you don't.
My favorite thing about Forest School is my favorite thing about Forest School is that's in the forest. It's nice and fresh and Minecraft natural.
It's nice and natural being out in the forest.
And my favorite people here are Duncan and Lily. And me.
Oh, right, okay. But you've all made good friends while you've been here, though, yeah?
Yeah, I've made new friends. We have.
And what I've asked a lot of the others about, what do you think about coming out in all the different weathers as well? So through the winter and all the different seasons.
Yes, I come and I do anything to come here. Yeah. I get myself. I remember I came here all the way here, and then my mum and another person drove here. It got cancelled.
Why did it get cancelled?
The rain and it's.
It wasn't the rain. We don't cancel because of the rain. There's going to be a thunderstorm. We have to cancel if there's a thunderstorm. So the only thing we cancel for are thunderstorms and high winds.
Ow, Bethany!
Yeah. So you're out in all weathers. So what's the worst weather you've been at Forest School in?
Probably. Probably when it was raining and literally we didn't get to go anywhere. I can't get up, Bethany.
We haven't had no snow yet, have we?
No.
It'd be good if we come in the snow, wouldn't it? Yeah. We haven't come in the snow. We haven't had Forest School in the snow, have we? I don't remember that.
I don't remember either. I remember.
I don't remember that.
I haven't came in ever snow.
So what's been one of the best things you've ever done at this Forest School, for example?
Probably making lots of bases, making new friends.
So what would you say? What would you say?
I don't recommend for kicking Duncan.
What would you say to someone who's thinking of going to a Forest School but hasn't yet?
I would say it's really good, and you get to basically just be free. You get to make new friends. You get to live with people. You get Bethany to kick you in the back. Yeah, you. Bethany, can you get your foot out of my back?
All right, thank you then, ladies. Right, so. Right, so we'll say goodbye now then, ladies. All right, you can say bye.
Bye. Wait. Bye.
So, as you can tell, yeah, they have a very good time at Forest School there. Some of them girls there have been coming for well over a year now, and they're really settled into the site. They're great friends. They come regularly. They're out in all weathers, and there really is. You just see the benefits to all of them. Now, another one of the huge benefits of Forest School is obviously they're outside all day or for the session and they're being physically active. Now, being physically active in an outdoor environment is just fantastic for all young people, as you can imagine. It's great for building their core strength, something that really is dropping in young people these days. So spending more and more time outdoors is just great for them and strengthening up their whole body. It's not just core strength, but it's been proven that bones get stronger as well when kids are climbing trees, when they're running, jumping, even to a degree of falling over. You know, we don't want our kids falling over, but falling over is part of growing up, and it strengthens them. It strengthens up, it's been tested that it strengthens up the bones. There is a research I was reading recently, and it's about since they've made playgrounds a lot safer, they've made slides not so high, they've made swings not so high, they've put down all the rubber matting, and since this is happened, they've worked out that accidents and admissions to A&Es in hospital for children of the age that use playgrounds has actually increased as they've made playgrounds safer. So that's only obviously one line of research I read, but it does make sense. As kids are not falling over and banging themselves or jumping as much as they're younger, they're becoming weaker. So then when they do fall over, especially as they start to get that little bit older, they've not strengthened up as much in their younger years. Not strengthening up in their younger years means their bones ain't as strong, they're not as easy to fend off injuries. So spending time in an outdoor environment, climbing trees, running around, it's just the way the environment is. You know, there will be tree roots in the ground, there'll be logs on the floor, there'll be sticks here, there'll be plants on the floor. Running around in that environment, jumping over them and leaping them, occasionally tripping over, but standing on them, climbing up on them, it all adds to these gross motor skills, which is a fantastic way for children to develop. And we do all have the fear of, everyone has fear when they have children, of children climbing trees and falling out of trees. Obviously at Forest School we monitor how high they can go, which trees they can climb. We explain fully to all of them the 3 points of contact and being safe when they climb, and not just going beyond their means, but they grow into it. So a new child at Forest School might not climb as high as one who's been there for a while, but then as they start to build their skills, they will climb. And we obviously monitor them, and you can tell when they're safe and when they're not safe. But it's just one of them skills that is really great for young people. So, and as I mentioned earlier, we really see the difference in kids who start Forest School to kids who have been going Forest School for a long time. It's noticeable. It's really noticeable on how much more agile they are, how stronger their core strength is, their gross motor skills, just how much more confident they are, and hardy they become as well. It does toughen them up, and that is part and parcel of growing up. You know, it's toughening the body up and getting ready for the unfortunate knocks that happen as we all get older. So I think we'll play another one of our little interviews now from another one of our Forest Schoolers. So let's have a listen to this one. Right, I'm here with Ezra. Ezra, how you doing?
Good.
Good. How long have you been coming Forest School for now?
I think nearly a year.
Nearly a year?
Yeah.
Yeah, it must be about over a year probably now. Yeah, it must be about a year.
Yeah.
So what do you like best about Forest School?
That you can just stroll around and have fun and basically do what you want and build dens and stuff like that.
So do you feel like you learn a lot when you're here?
Yeah.
You do you? Yeah. What's your favourite part of it? Building dens?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What about with friends? You met new friends here?
Yeah, a lot of new friends.
Yeah?
Uh-huh.
Good. What do you think about coming outside in all weathers, like through the winter and stuff as well, rather than just summer? Do you enjoy that?
I like it when it's like cold, because then I can kind of like put a lot of jackets on and then, you know, put them on the floor and just have a nap.
Have a nap? Oh, that sounds good. So, right, so what would you say to any kids who have not been to Forest School before and are thinking of trying it out?
You should come, because it's really good.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Any Forest School, anywhere in the world, yeah?
No, here.
Oh, this one? Oh, all right. Okay, we'll take that. Right, thanks, Ezra.
That's okay.
Bye.
Bye.
So another little interview there for you, carried out by one of by me on one of our regulars. He's a great lad. He's a fantastic builder. He's built many structures over our woodland, and many of them have been standing for well over probably almost a year now. But it just really shows how they grow into it. And even as they get a bit older, as he is, they're still benefiting from the likes of Forest School. It's not just a reception class age thing, Forest School. It's something that carries on through the years. This is one of the things that happens with a lot of education now in mainstream education. There has been a push towards Forest School in primary schools, but a lot of the time it covers sort of reception and year one, and then it drops off, and it doesn't carry on. I understand schools have got their budgets and their targets, but it is something that can continuously grow with young people. You know, we shouldn't be just giving them a year or so of it at a young age and then just shoving them back in the classroom. It really does benefit them going all the way up into their early teens even, it can be. So it really is a fantastic experience for all young people. And now one of the other great things is when they're at Forest School is it's doing something in that different environment. You know, you do have that environment at home. What you get used to, your bedrooms, your living rooms, even if it's just your garden, you get used to that environment. But coming out into a different environment, especially for many children in countries like the UK and stuff, you know, you get kids out from cities and urban areas as well, and many of them haven't experienced forest areas or many of these sort of like slightly wilder areas like woodlands and even sort of open fields or beaches. Many of these young people haven't experienced this, so it's a great way to get them out, and it's a great way to connect them with nature as well. There's a big detachment from nature now with modern technology, mobile phones, stranger dangers, and all of these things. Children are staying indoors a lot more than they used to. So getting out to a forest school really does give them a different environment to be in, and just experience a whole, which is effectively a different world to what a lot of children are used to. And it's something that is in children's psyche, but also getting them out into that whole environment, an outdoor environment, makes them realise what is going on in nature, makes them realise what is going on in the environment, and it gives them a connection to it. You know, if we're indoors, we're away from nature, we're not connected to nature. If we get them outdoors regularly and through the seasons, it's really a great way of getting our young people in touch with nature, caring for the environment. And the more they care for the environment, the more they look after it in the future. And of course, they're our future adults. So I think we'll jump into another one of our little interviews now with one of our forest schoolers. So let's have a listen to this one. Right, we're here with another forest schooler, and we've got Jensen. Hi, Jensen, you all right?
Yeah.
Yeah? Feeling embarrassed?
Yeah, very.
How long you been coming forest school, Jensen?
I don't know, like 4-5 weeks. Something like that, maybe.
Yeah? Are you enjoying it?
Yeah.
Yeah? What's your best part about coming over here?
Like spending time with Ezra and just, it's fun out here, yeah.
Yeah? So you enjoy being outside?
Yeah.
What about coming outside in all weathers, whether it's raining or
No,
cold?
I love the rain.
You love the rain? Better than being stuck at home inside your bedroom?
No.
Or not? No? Still prefer to be at home in your bedroom?
Yeah.
Oh, well, okay. Can't win them all. Anything you really, really want to tell anyone else about forest school if they're thinking of coming along?
It's very fun and you get to do a lot of things here.
Yeah? Okie dokie.
And the bathrooms look very funny.
The bathrooms? What's wrong with our bathrooms then, Jensen?
It's just funny, the way it's a big hole.
Our compost toilet.
Yeah.
So you like our compost toilet that
It's
goes
funny.
in the ground? Yeah? Okie dokie. So Jensen likes the compost toilet. Right, so thanks for that, Jensen. You're going to say bye to everyone?
Goodbye.
Thanks, see ya. So as you heard there, we have compost toilets at our forest school. Again, the compost toilet may not seem to much, but it is showing young people and the people who use the site a different way. You know, many children come into our site and they've never never even seen or heard of a compost toilet. You know, we're all used to our modern toilets at home with flushing, but they come to our toilet and there is a hole in the ground and they have to deal with it that way. And we explain to them how it's actually environmentally friendly. All of our waste goes down to feed the woodland and the worms, etc. But it is, again, it's pushing those boundaries. So it's something which, when they first come in, they've never experienced. But then over time, they learn that that's the way it is, and they just take it as the norm. And it's just another way of trying out new things. And another huge benefit of our forest schools and the majority of forest schools is they run as a mixed age group. Now, mixed age groups can be really beneficial for children. If you go back to our ancestral times, they would have been in more family groups, more localised groups, and children would have grown up with different ages, not just siblings, but they would have been out with groups of children of varying ages. With modern education, we've obviously taken a lot of that away now. There is, everyone's set in their years. They spend most of the time with them years. They go on school trips with them years. Everything is set within them years. Whereas forest school, we have a wide range of years. So you have young children, and then you have ones that are up to maybe pushing teens. So one of the benefits of this is the older children become caring for the younger ones. It's a way of them understanding that they're slightly older, and you see them start to look out for the younger ones, and then the younger ones get used to having to deal with older children. It really does benefit both older and the younger children, and it adds that, it starts to bring that empathy into it, so they all understand the empathy side of things. It's not always easy and it doesn't always work perfectly, but on the whole, you see that side of things growing. And instilling empathy in our young people can only be good for everyone going forward. So I think we'll jump into our last little interview from this week's Forest School, and we'll give that a little listen.
Right, so we're here with Dottie, Cicely, and we've got Lily in the background as well. How you doing, girls?
We're doing good.
Yeah? You enjoying Forest School today?
Yeah.
Yeah. How long have you been coming Forest School?
No idea. I would say around. I think maybe like
quite a few months.
No, because I came like a week after you.
Well, more like a few weeks, but
yeah, like a few weeks after you.
maybe like
a couple months.
Probably the most of this year, I'd say, wasn't it?
No.
Yeah, it probably is.
probably like around 7 months.
I joined when we were still wearing jumpers.
So you joined when we were still wearing jumpers? So it must have been spring, end of winter, springtime?
No, I think it was I feel like it was no, September.
It wasn't. It's been longer than that. You've been here through the summer.
Yeah, we were here in the summer.
Anyway.
No, not the last September. The September before last.
Ah, right. So over a year now then. That's what you say.
You're like,
Okay. Right, okay. So, what do you normally get up to at Forest School then, girls?
Gymnastics.
yeah.
You do your gymnastics. Have you made your gym over there?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah?
We used to have a bar, but then it kind of collapsed.
You had the bar. Yeah, I need to build the bar again for you, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. How about, have you all sort of made new friends when you've been at Forest School?
Well, we've always just stuck with each other.
Yeah, but
Or
of
did you
course
really
we
know each other before Forest School?
No,
Well, I knew Aria
I
before
knew,
quite a lot.
I knew Aria before
Yeah,
school, and I
but-
knew Bethany. But I
Yeah.
didn't know Dottie or Lily.
No,
So you've got to know some new friends.
Got
Yeah.
to know 2 new people.
Yeah.
I got my few.
Oh, it's good. So what about in the weathers then, girls? What about in the weathers? Do you like being out all year round in the cold?
I don't like being out in the cold, or when you make us walk like in the fields.
Yeah,
because you made us walk. No, because when you made us walk in the fields, I got bitten by 2 horseflies on my leg.
Yeah, but it was good to get out and try something different. That was the good thing. We went out on the hike.
But it wasn't a trip.
Yeah, but it's all about building your resilience up. Yeah. What would you say to someone who's thinking of going to Forest School and hasn't gone to Forest School yet?
I'd say make sure you call Dunkin' Donut.
Call Dunkin' Donut. What, call me personally and come to this Forest School, did you mean?
Well,
Just go to any Forest School. We're not trying to sell our Forest School.
call Duncan and have a donut.
Right, so,
Yeah. When has it ever brought us a
I
donut?
don't bring you donuts. No, you bring your own food. We do some cooking sometimes, eh? Occasionally. We do.
Sometimes
In
we
the
make
winter
s'mores.
We make s'mores.
Every time.
We make toast.
No, I've
More
not
or
made
less.
toast.
Oh, the toast is always there for you to make.
It's really smoky.
Really flaky.
Yeah. Duncan, I'm dying.
So, right. So, thanks for doing the interview, girls. I believe you had a song for us.
Yeah!
So, girls are going to sing a song. I'm going to...
5, 6, 7, 8. My money go jiggle, jiggle. It falls like see a wiggle, wiggle. For sure, makes me want to dribble, dribble. You know, riding my feet, really had to see it. 6 feet 2 in a compact, no side. Lucky in the seats, go back into my hat to relax in my mind. Sipping some red wine. Bye. Okay, bye.
Thank you, ladies. Bye.
So as you can hear from that one, another group of young people having fun. If you take out that interview as well, one of the girls said they hadn't made any new friends, but they don't always realise they are making new friends. That girl has made a lot of friends since she's actually been at the forest school, and sometimes as you remove yourself from the situation, you realise how many friendships she has made and all the others have made as well. So although sometimes they say they're not, they actually have. So it's a very good way of building up new friendships, and I think the fact that they're all so close is they don't realise they've made them friendships whilst being at forest school. Now they also mentioned they do a lot of gymnastics while they're at forest school, which might sound a bit strange being at a forest school doing gymnastics, but what these girls actually do when they do their gymnastics is they found a really flat area. This is all without leaders doing anything. They cleared all that area out a long time ago, and they've found probably the flattest piece of ground in the woodland. They cleared it all. They've put seats around the edge. I did build exercise equipment for them a while back, so they had a bar and various sort of things they could do their gymnastics on. But it's the bigger picture of just doing the gymnastics as well. It's how they've created their gym. It's how then they work as a team. It's how they put a show together. They put a few shows together and show us the shows, and everyone else comes and sits around. They sell tickets, etc. So there's so much more going on under the surface rather than just doing gymnastics. And of course, this is all being done in an outdoor environment. It's obviously great for their physical and mental well-being, and it's more around problem solving as well. You know, they've had to create a gym in an outdoor environment, so they're creating problems. They're problem solving. So with problem solving, you know, this is fundamentally what all of learning is, as we regard it. Everything in life for everyone starts off as a problem. Yeah, you want to take it back to the bare bones of walking. You know, when we're young, walking or moving around is a problem. We overcome it. You know, if we're able-bodied, we overcome walking. We start to walk. You know, even if we're not able-bodied, we learn maybe whether that's to use a wheelchair or crutches or walking sticks. It's all problems we overcome in life, and that problem solving is learning. It's the basis of it. You know, if walking up a hill when you first start walking is hard, when you've walked up a few hills, you do it without even thinking about. That's because you've solved that problem and you've moved on. So everything we do in life started off as a problem solving exercise, whether that be cooking, eating, cleaning, going to work. Whatever we do in life, that is a problem-solving exercise until we've learned how to solve the problem. So forest school is an endless cycle of problem-solving cycles. So when the kids come in, they all want to do different things. They all want to try this and try that and try this. Now, as I said earlier on, we're there to facilitate these people and help them if they have an issue and they're not sure and they come and ask. We can help them and help them solve the problem and show them a way around it. But most of the time they want to have a go at it themselves, and we can come in and help them, or they can learn how to do it themselves. It really does work, and it's just constant problem solving, which means they're constantly learning. All of us every day are doing this. So forest school is just a fantastic way of learning, and learning in a natural way and learn in the way that young people want to learn. So hopefully this podcast has given you an insight into the benefits of forest school, what actually is forest school, because many people out there don't know what it is, and how it can improve our young people and how it does improve our young people for so many people. Forest school is a growing area in education and what people want to do. It originated in Scandinavia, it's spread throughout Europe, it's getting massive in North America and the Far East now, and it's really growing in the UK as well. So it's one of them things we can just say, send your kids there, get them to a local forest school, whether that be one in a week, whether it's involved with a school, whether it's over a weekend or an evening, an after school club. It's just such a great thing for young people to do. Going out, getting dirty, learning new skills, making new friends. It's what young people are designed to do, and forest school covers it all. So thanks for listening to the podcast. I hope you've enjoyed it. Please listen out for some of our others. We're aiming to release our Let's Get Kids Outdoor podcasts once a month with all different sort of ways and different ways we can get our young people outdoors and get them benefited from being out in nature. So we'll see you on the next one, and thanks for listening.